As background, I want you to know that I've had this ficus tree for years and years and years. I received it as a gift in 1987, and it has been with me all that time. We moved from one house to another house, but it's lived in this home for over 30 years. The ficus tree that you see in front of you is one that I have cared for all those years, and it is thriving. It fits beautifully into my room with high ceilings, a southern exposure, west light coming in the afternoon, early morning light on the east side coming in. So it's in a well-lit room. It's in a room that is cool in the summer and warm in the winter. I would say that winter is the harshest season for my ficus tree. The sun is low in the sky. It comes directly into this room. So this off-center location is a good one because it's partially protected. In general, caring for a ficus tree in your home takes very little effort. You just have to pay attention to the basics: watering, feeding, and pruning. One of the things you want to make sure that you do is not to overwater your ficus tree. That is probably the most important thing to remember. And quite frankly, I recommend a little neglect as it comes to caring for a ficus tree. They really do like to be left alone. Don't fuss too much, but do listen, pay attention. When we first moved to this home, I made a big mistake. I put this ficus tree in a northwest corner of this house, and it quickly told me it was not the place for it to be. How did it tell me? It began dropping leaves. Dropping leaves. I had to move it immediately, and I knew that if I didn't, I was going to lose that tree. So watch for excessive leaf dropping. If your ficus tree does not like its location, it is going to tell you by dropping its leaves. Another thing to watch for is when your ficus has yellow leaves on it. I look for one yellow leaf. As soon as I see a yellow leaf, that tells me my ficus wants to be watered. And generally, I wait for that to happen. On this tree today, what you saw is multiple yellow leaves. And that's because I haven't paid attention. It was the Thanksgiving holiday. I was busy with family and preparations and hosting, and I neglected paying attention to the tree. So the first thing I need to do to address these yellow leaves is to water my tree. Because there are so many yellow leaves on this tree today, I have another concern. I believe that my room is too dry for my tree. And that reminded me that usually during the month of November, I put a humidifier in this room and I run it until April of the next season. Not too long ago, we installed a mini split system or a heat pump in this room. And this past month, the month of November, we have been running that heating system quite a lot. And it's been blowing warm, dry air in the direction of this tree. It's my opinion that this tree is finding that to be too harsh for it. So I am going to install my humidifier today and hopefully bring the humidity up in the room. So think about that for your tree in your home if you do live in a cold weather climate. I mentioned the lighting exposure for this tree, and it is true that you need to have a well-lit room for your ficus tree. One of the most important things is going to be finding the right location for your tree so that it gets the right amount of light. The really great thing about the room that this tree is in is that no matter what time of year, there is a nice lighting source that's coming in. And I can often see by where the tree is growing, how it is branching out, where it is getting the kind of light that it likes. So pay attention and listen to your tree from that regard. What is the kind of light that your tree likes? And make sure you give it that kind of light. I received a lot of questions about repotting my tree. I've only repotted the tree twice since I've owned it. I repotted the tree when we first moved into this home, and then I repotted it again probably 12 years ago, and it's in the same pot. What I do is I top dress the pot with new soil, and I am going to do that as well right now. I also get questions about how I maintain the beautiful shape of this tree and how do I keep it the size that it is to fit in the room like it does. And I do that through pruning. Now, today, this tree does not need pruning, and I haven't pruned it since the spring. So it has grown fairly evenly, and I like the way it looks, so I'm not going to prune the tree. It will probably need its next pruning in the springtime. If you're interested in how I prune the tree, I encourage you to look at one of my prior videos about caring for this ficus tree. So today, as I listen to my ficus tree, what is it telling me? It's telling me to water it. It's telling me it's too dry in this room. Give it some humidity. And with that and a little bit of love and a little bit of neglect, this tree is going to continue to thrive through the winter months.